Welcome, sunshine. I am going to share with you the cheapest way that I have found to put a vintage hanky quilt together. I'm going to show you how to prepare your quilt batting and backing, so stay tuned to find out. So we start with the batting. I purchased a 72 by 96 inch thin cotton batting off of Amazon. Okay, so you want to open it up, you want to air it out, you want to get all the wrinkles, get it as flat as you possibly can on a hard surface. And the next step is to put your quilt top on top of the batting, get all of it lined up, laid out, and line it up on one edge. Figure out which edge you want to line it up on, and straighten it out and line it up on that edge. Don't put it in the center. You want to get as most out of the batting as you possibly can. You want to save any excess for a future project. So that's what I'm doing here. I laid the batting on my king size bed, and then I have the top of the quilt on top of that. Okay, so next up, after you've gotten that, you want to get your straight pins, because there's excess. You can't put a clip on 3 sides. 2 sides you could clip, but the other 2 sides for now you'll have to pin. So I'm having to lift up that long piece of the batting, and I'm pinning the top of the quilt to the batting, and I'm going to do this on all the edges before I actually get to adding the backing. So you want to secure the quilt top only with pins or clips at this point. Do not add any running stitches. So and then make sure everything is stretched out, flattened out. Pull out any creases underneath, so make sure that batting is very flat, no creases, no puckers, and then start pinning that quilt top to the batting, and then we'll move on to adding on the backing fabric. And I generally put about 4 or 5 pins per row, per side. Okay, I've put my backing fabric, which is actually a organic cotton twin flat sheet. So I repurposed a twin size sheet so that I could save money, and it's so much easier because it's very hard to find fabric the exact width when you're doing a vintage hanky quilt like I'm doing. So I'm cutting off that extra edge here on this one side first, and then I will cut off the bottom panel. So that makes it much easier to work with, and then I can save that small piece for a future project. So this is something that you can do as well. This is a very easy project. For me, it was just very labor intensive because I'm very limited on my energy. My vitamin D levels and B levels were extremely seriously low 2 years ago. That's what brought on the AFib and the anxiety, because all that nervous tension from when your body's out of balance like that. And so, I mean, it's a slow process to get those back into balance and to keep them there. So that's why I have to pace myself. And so you might be able to do one quicker if you have more energy, if your health is better. But this is so beautiful. I mean, I am loving how this is turning out. Now I want to figure out what color fabric do I want to use for the binding, because this is so pretty. I'm so excited about this now. It's just like, I'm just like, I can't believe that I'm coming into the home stretch. It's so beautiful. so exciting. And I was scouring and scouring and scouring to figure out what was I going to use for the backing, because all the fabrics that I kept pulling out were not wide enough, and I didn't want a seam going down the back of it. And I said, okay, a sheet, but I want it to be cotton, and everything I kept coming up with was from my vintage stash, and it was polyester cotton 50-50 blend. I didn't want that. And then I remembered, I said, okay, wait a minute. I had those organic twin sheets that I had gotten from Mary Jane's Farm, and the yellow one we cut up and used for masks back in 2019. But the green one was still around, and it was fresh laundered, but it was a wrinkled mess, as you saw. So what I did to get the wrinkles out, and here's a tip, if you don't already know this, is I took a kitchen hand towel and wet it and wrung it out, and then a dishcloth, wrung it out, and then put it in the dryer. My husband's outside. I'm telling him, don't say a word. By Joe, if it got all the wrinkles out of it for 15 minutes. That's all you have to do. Toss it in there by itself, just whatever's the wrinkle thing. So wonderful, so easy. So now I'm tickled pink over that. So now I will start working on this. I will get my large embroidery hoop, and I will start doing that. So I will be watching movies, sitting on the couch in the evenings, doing some of the hand stitching. I may get out my embroidery hoop holder that my husband put together here on my channel, and that video has like almost 6,000 views on it, so you can check that out. But just for fun, you know, but you have to bend over and all that. I wish they would have made it higher. My husband's going to make it a little higher, and then where it could be more flexible. It's kind of too rigid. I've only used it a few times. But anyway, he's about to make a lot of noise outside, so I'm going to finish this up for here. So please let me know in the comments where you are on your quilting journey with our slow stitching sampler series, and if you are going to make you a vintage hanky quilt to document your travels. So stay safe, keep creating in the sunshine, and please watch my next video of how this journey all began. And I'd love to have you subscribe to my creative community here and help me reach my goals. So I'm trying to reach 2,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So I know we can do it if we keep working on it together. So please share my video. Thank you so much. Stay safe.